In this video, I'll show you how to create private registration events and also how to create event series, which is stringing those private registration events together. So the first thing we're going to do is create an event. I'll click on Create an Event, give it a title, and then to make it a private registration event, you're going to select the calendar that says Private Registration Required. We'll put it on a day where we can see it on the calendar, and click Create Event. And now you can see we've got the event created. And one of the things to know about these private registration events is they only appear on the public calendar for somebody who's logged in and who's registered for the event. So here you'll see I'm logged in as me, and here is another screen where there's a participant logged in, and if I hit the refresh, you'll see that that event is not on the calendar because it's private and they haven't yet registered for it. So how does a person register for an event if it's not on the calendar? Well, you do that using a registration link. And to access that link, you can see here again that this is me again, logged in here, and I'm on the My Events page, and I can click on the little user with the plus icon next to the event, and that takes me to the registration list for the event. And you'll see here's the registration link. So normally you would copy this and send it in an email or something like that. But for the purposes of the demonstration here, I'm just going to copy this link, and I'm going to go over here to my logged in user, and we'll paste that in there, and you'll see that they now have the option to register for the event. It's got the day and time and such, and I'll click register, and you'll see that now that they're going to get a confirmation email and a list of instructions about how to prepare. And if I go back to the events screen for the user, you'll see now they can actually see it on their calendar because they're registered. They're able to click the link to go to the event. They can also click another link to cancel the registration. Now, that's how you create a private registration event, and you would send those links around to whoever you want to be able to register for it. Now, what happens if you want to do a series of events? Like, say you want to have people register for a group of events. One way to think of this is maybe you have 3 events you want to do, and you want them to all share a reservation list. So a person registers once, and they're able to attend all 3 events. So we can do that. That actually exists on the platform. And in order to do that, there's a specific way that you would create these new events. So the first thing you have to have is an existing event that you've created. And I've already got my private event number 1. So the way to create these series is you're going to copy the event, and you're going to also select to copy the registration list to these new events. And I'll show you how to do that. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit for this private event. And you'll see here where we can copy the event. So I'm going to click Copy. And then you get this intermediate screen. Because it's a registration event, you can either copy the registrations to the new event you're creating or make a new list. Well, we want to copy these so that the registration list is shared between the different events. So I'm going to click Copy Registrations, and then you can see that the event copy is created. I'll just go ahead and make an event, give it a different title, and maybe we'll put it on a different day, say Friday instead of Thursday. There we go, and then I'll save the event. And in our example, we're going to do 3 of them, so you would just repeat that to make additional events. So, and you can copy either of the events that are in the series. I'm just going to go ahead and stick with the original one. So same deal, you click Copy Event again, and again you got to copy the registrations to this new event you're creating, and this will be the 3rd event in the series, and we'll put that guy on Saturday so we can see it, and click Update Event. Now you can see we've got 3 events going there, right? And one on the 14th, one on the 16th, and one on the 17th. And the system is very smart. So the existing user that already registered, you're going to see that they now are able to go to any of these events because we've grouped those events to share the same registration list. And anybody can register at any time, either before you copy an event or after you copy an event, and the system figures it all out to be able to share for that person to be able to go to any event that they've registered for in that series of events. So let's have a look here again at the registration list. And if you look at the registration list, you'll see, and you can look at it for any of the events that are in the series. It'll show you the grouping. So here I'm on event, I think it's on event number 1, and it says the following events use this registration list, and it lists that there's 3 events that are using the same registration list. You can use any of these 3 links here to let somebody register, and if they register at any one of those events, they're going to be able to access all of the events. Okay, and I can show you how that works. So if you look here for the existing registrations, you'll see that participant 1 is already registered. Well, I'm going to go ahead and register myself too for this event. So I'll just click the registration link, we'll copy it, and then paste it into a new place. And if you look, you'll see the registration page, the page to do the registration looks a bit different because there's now a series of events. So it says register for the following events, and all 3 of them are listed now because I've created ones that are all linked to the same registration. So I'm going to go ahead and click register now, and you'll see there's, again, all these 3 are available that you're registered for. And if I go to my events calendar, you're going to see that I can now see these events too. See logged in as me, just as the participant can also see those events. Okay. Now, I think that's about it. The other thing to notice is if I'm on the administration screen for the event registrations now, if I refresh, you'll see now I'm registered for it too. So, as I said, the system's very smart about it. As long as you copy those events the way that I showed you, which is you copy the event, you create an initial event, and then you set it for private registration required, and then you copy that event and select copy the registrations. Just keep repeating that for every event you want in the series. The system will automatically figure out that if anybody registers for any one of those events, they'll be able to get in for all of them. So I think that's about it. And the only other thing worth showing you is if you cancel your registration, it's going to go ahead and cancel it for everything. So if you look, cancel registration for the following events. This is me logged in as the participant. And if I cancel the registration, I'm no longer going to have access to any of those events in the series. So if I click cancel registration, you'll see here we are back on the calendar. And again, I'm not registered anymore, so I can't see them on the calendar. So you can use this system to either do individual private events, or you could use it to do a group of events. Like say you wanted to do a weekend workshop that had events on 3 different days, or you were going to do a series of some kind of closed container where you were doing 1 event a week or something. You can use this system to create those events so that only people who have the registration link can sign up for them, and they register one time and they can have access to all the events you create in the series. It's actually quite handy for things like that.